Time though, this is funny. Look, it's the holiday season, and so videos like this are, for whatever reason, particularly enjoyable for all of us here at the Majority Report. We'd like to see people fight. We'd like to see people we disagree with be on the wrong end of an argument. And there's nothing more heartwarming than to see it all play out on national TV with Christmas trees in the backdrop. So
and a very questionable dress choice from one of the peripheral players.
That's right. Yes. No. So this is the program called The View, and I think they are obligated to have 2 politician daughters on at any given time. So Abby Huntsman and what's her name? McCain? Meghan McCain. Meghan McCain are on. Abby Huntsman, you'll recall, worked at MSNBC, then went over to Fox and Friends, and now apparently has landed on The View. And Meghan McCain has worked just about everywhere and is on The View. And apparently Meghan McCain and Joy Behar are having a little bit of problems. Now, I've known Joy for many years. I used to be on her program on CNN. And then I was on her program at Current. She's smart. She also does not take much grief from anyone. And so this is particularly enjoyable. They were talking, in this instance, about George Bush Sr. Now, I think we've made our opinion about George Bush Sr. Pretty well known on this program. I think the guy was, I don't know enough about the history of the way that presidents are perceived to say that he was the most overrated of presidents relative to what he did, but I don't know if that's true or not. But honestly, the damage this guy did far outweighed anything beyond the fact that he appeared in public to be somewhat appropriate. So there's that. But here is this debate, and apparently it's sacrosanct. You don't talk about anything but just in a vacuum our president, because he's like our daddy in a way.
I want to say one thing about him that was not picked up really, because as a candidate, he said, those who think we're powerless to do anything about the greenhouse effect are forgetting about the White House effect. And then he signed into law the Clean Air Act Amendment of 1990, one of the most sweeping environmental statutes ever. This president that we have now is trying to unravel everything that he did and Obama did. And if I ever become a one-issue voter, it will be about pollution and the greenhouse effect and
Can
the
we
fact
focus
that
on the president, please? I don't want to talk about Trump.
Well, I do
we're
for
in
a
the
second,
moment
so
of, we're honoring a great president
Excuse me a second,
passed.
please. I want to talk about the
We're
difference.
honoring, but I'm not interested in your one-issue
I don't
voter when
care
our
what you're
president just
interested in.
passed.
I'm talking.
Well, I don't care what you're interested in
We'll
either,
be right back.
boy. Okay?
Later, Christmas controversy. A radio station just banned a holiday.
It's the most bizarre thing.
The audience.
First of all, yeah, they're still arguing at each other. I mean,
What's great is
they're not just still arguing.
Like each other.
They're big. The argument gets bigger
Clearly.
as they end. Everybody is just laughing and smiling at it. It has that sort of like surreal quality of like Running Man or whatever, some futuristic game show. And
Brazil.
Yeah, here they go.
Right,
Watch.
Brazil
Just watch. And she goes, F you. And the other hosts are just sort of like completely.
And Meghan McCain's like, my dad would like object to what you're saying and such.
Well, the problem that Meghan McCain has is that she doesn't want politics to in any way mar our honoring of the president. And you know what? Like this attitude, and I don't care who the president is or was, this attitude that somehow like this isn't just this is like a religious figure. This is like the emperor, right? We can't speak. We can't talk about mere mortal things.
You want to talk about
We can't-
child
we
molestation?
can't talk
I want
about-
to talk about the Pope.
We
okay?
can't talk about politics in the context of talking about the president. And Behar was being, at least to some extent, complimentary of Jennifer.
Behar was paying the guy a compliment for actually, if we're being objective, something he should get a positive notch for. It won't outrun his running the CIA or running the Willie Horton ads, but good for him. He signed that legislation. But what's amazing, I mean, not only is she wrong, but I mean, what an unprofessional brat.
I wonder.
Wow.
Well,
With
and
a lot
actually,
of sincere tension.
it's
there, which I
interesting that
like.
you say unprofessional brat, because apparently, this is according to the Daily Mail, Joy
Which is a
Behar
fascist publication.
continued to fume as the show cut to commercial. Now, look, we could see what was going on there. They both were still fuming, but they want to put this. And she said she would leave the show if this, quote, this is according to the Daily Mail, this shit doesn't stop. She said, I can't take this much more, Behar reportedly said. She called McCain, quote, an entitled bitch.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Now, look. I don't appreciate the use of the word bitch. I find that to be a little bit gendered. I don't think it... now, it's one thing to say it, off camera, as opposed to Fox, which apparently
Yeah, they
just the other day
just say it.
literally had it said on their air about Joy Behar.
Wouldn't Joy have carte blanche to say it, though?
Right. In that respect, and I think, and I don't think that she means it in a gendered way. I think her point is that McCain thinks that because her dad was a senator, she can get a job on TV, and she's right. That's how she got that job. I've worked with her on a TV show, and I can tell you that I have run into people who are more talented than her.
I believe
Actually,
you.
I ran into people who were more talented than her on that day, in that moment. People who were not even on camera, who were more talented in terms of them being on camera. So the idea that, Meghan McCain can show up on this show and tell Joy Behar, who's been on the show, I think, for a couple of decades, off and on, you can't in any way divert your attention to the sort of the present day politics when you're talking about a dead president. I think it's pretty impressive.
I was going to talk about how him and my dad went golfing together, and you're talking about like the greenhouse and whatnot. Like, you're stupid. You're an old Jew. I hate you. Oh my God.
She's not Jewish. Joy
I didn't know that.
Joy
I need more
Behar
briefing.
is Italian.
I need
but,
briefers. Like, this is ridiculous.
But what is interesting is I wonder if it's because McCain is embarrassed by her Republican Party's stance on global warming. I wonder if that's what it comes down to. She knows.
She has a lot of proxy tension anytime issues like that are brought
Right.
up. I think you're right.
I think that's part of it. But I'm perfectly willing to host a debate between the two of them. We can do it here. And all I can say to Joy Behar, I believe back in the day we would say, you go, girl.
Ask the moms.
That's right.